the champions, my friend. Oh my God, what a day to be in crypto. Welcome back, everyone. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today, like every day, we're coming at you live from our studio. Need I say more? Do you need to know what we're talking about today? Well, if you do, we're talking about XRP winning the lawsuit. What does this mean? Everything is pumping. Also, we have Pierce Ridyard, the CEO of Radix, joining us in about 30 minutes. We're going to get into it here. And let's not waste any time. Let's introduce our first co-host, and his name is Big Rob. Big Rob, how you doing?
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. Unlike the other boring shows, we take old, stale information and repackage it up in a fun and sexy way. Man, what a day. You know what? I was taking the week off and, I got kids in town and I don't know where my kids are right now, but I'm here. So that's what...
They're outside saying, where's dad? Where's dad? Guys, today's a very special show. And we also have our man Forrest joining us as well. Forrest, how you doing, man? How is your portfolio looking? Are you excited as I am?
Yeah, I'm absolutely pumped. This is huge for our entire industry. It's huge for our business too. Just what we do on YouTube and what we do as far as creating content. This is huge. This is a really, really big win. Everything's pumping based off of it. Everything's green. It's good to be long crypto right now.
Amen to that. Let's jump right in with a big shout out to channel sponsor Cam's Blue Wire Technology. Today's crystal clear 4K stream is brought to you by them. If you own a business and you need help with your networking or IT and you just don't have the time because, well, you're too busy making money, you want to hit up Cam's Blue Wire Tech. Visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. Now, usually we start with giggles. There's no giggles today. We're just big smiles on our faces. Take a look at what the crypto markets are doing. And then we're going to get into the XRP judgment. We have the full summary judgment broken down for you guys. So first, everything is pumping. The entire crypto market cap is up 3%. Volume is up 27.8%. And we also have Bitcoin coming in at $31,158. Now, it would be a good time to hodl Bitcoin. And well, if you plan on hodling Bitcoin and you potentially want to pull out your gains tax-free, can I recommend our second channel sponsor, I Trust Capital, the leading crypto IRA company out there. If you set up a Roth IRA, it's not financial advice. If you set up a Roth IRA, you can hodl your Bitcoin and your crypto and enjoy the gains tax-free at retirement. If you want to support the channel, you want to get an account, click the link in the description of this video. And if you fund your account, you will get $100 as well. But guys, of course, all eyes are on XRP, up 63% on the week, 62% on the day, and 22% just over the last hour. And we have not yet received word of any large exchanges relisting XRP. Gentlemen, before I get into the lawsuit, what is your feeling on... Are we going to start seeing over the next couple days Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini start to relist XRP, or is it too soon?
I don't know about next couple days with Coinbase and Binance.us. I know you left that one out, but all the U.S. exchanges, Kraken, I think will probably be first. I think.
Okay.
You're gonna need the liquidity, so that's the big issue. I don't think they're like waiting for SEC to comment, but the fact is that right now the token's hot. The volume is out of this world at this moment. So you're going to need to have enough liquidity to for your customers to come in and buy. And so I don't think that the exchanges have been buying up XRP. The analytics hasn't said it, or the on-chain data hasn't said that. And I know that the exchanges that delisted more than likely did not liquidate their entire XRP position, but I'm sure they didn't add to it. And when it was time to shed something off the balance sheet, perhaps they got rid of a little bit of XRP. And so I think they're going to have to wait that out maybe a week. I would say probably more realistic for the Coinbase and the Binance, but I think the smaller exchanges will go first. I think Kraken will be the biggest of the exchange to go first.
It it would make sense, right? Because how do the legit exchanges make money off of trading fees? And if everyone is looking for somewhere to buy XRP because the FOMO's kicked in, wouldn't it make sense for them not to waste any time and try to capitalize on this massive trading volume on XRP?
Wait, say that again. You're saying they don't want to waste any time to capitalize on the volume.
I'm saying, like, you know, the legit exchanges, their bread and butter as far as making money is trading fees. And so volume has skyrocketed on XRP. Everyone's trying to get a piece of the pie before it 4, 5, 6X's. You know, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I could see that. I believe it's pretty clear that the distinction that was made that crypto sold on exchanges is not a security. It's the institutional sales and the fundraising in the back end and these launchpad sales that are a big deal. So if I was an exchange, it really, really depends on this. Like how big of a risk can you take here? Just on the off chance that they try to come after you for something else, I would be on the side of relisting sooner rather than later, though. To be honest, I don't necessarily think they're going to try to I mean, if you're an exchange, you just can't make any mistakes right now. That's at the end of the day, you just can't make any mistakes. That's your goal. Like you don't take any ridiculous risks. And this to me means that crypto's coming back. We're going to get another bull market. A bunch of stuff is in exchanges. You probably have Solana and Matic and a bunch of other stuff that's probably going to get relisted on some of the exchanges that took them down a couple weeks ago, maybe Robinhood. Yeah, I mean, I'd relist personally, but unless I'm an exchange that's like just on the ropes of whether or not, if you have if you're Coinbase and you have something open with SEC right now, I just don't know how that would affect it. But I tend to agree with you.
We are, guys, and we're watching this in real time. We are absolutely ripping. I didn't even mention that Europe is launching the first Bitcoin spot ETF. There is so much positive news in the space. And I just want to say to those of you that have been watching our channel, not just our channel, any channel on YouTube, anything related to crypto, the last year has been extremely rough. Nothing but negative headline after negative headline. Our portfolios are down 70, 80%. We've seen fraud after fraud, deceit. And here we are today. We made it. Let's enjoy. And when I say we made it, I mean we made it through those tough times. And I believe, I don't know about you guys, I believe we have turned the corner. We've spoken about the implications of a favorable ruling for Ripple for months now. And we are literally watching it unfold as Bitcoin crosses $31,400. Ethereum is over $2,000. XRP is closing in on 80 cents. We have Cardano up 16%. A coin that has not moved is up 33 cents. Up to 33 cents. Solana crossing $25. That is also up almost 20% over the last hour. Polygon Matic up 20%. I mean, I cannot contain myself.
Dude, you know what I can say at this moment with 100% confidence? And I didn't have it quite there. No, I believed it. I believed it through and through. However, I couldn't defend that position confidently until now. Ethereum is a commodity, hands down, not even a question at this point. And
not even a question.
And I think Congress can't argue it. The SEC can't argue it. Bitcoin ETF goes live. There is zero reason Ethereum won't go live afterwards. I'll leave it at that.
Guys, let me just flat out ask you: is this the beginning of the bull market, Robin?
Yes. Yeah, but here's the thing. I think that the bull market kicked off from 16, so it really depends on where your starting point in the bull market, I guess, would be. Is it the bottom? I don't know. Now, I think that we're going to get the typical bull market run up around the halving. I think right around the same time that we'll get the Bitcoin ETF to pass. I think we'll kind of line up there. And so I think that's where that real parabolic FOMO bull market will come in. But I do think that 30K will probably be in the background for a while. I think that 30K is probably the bottom. I think if there is some kind of black swan event between now and the halving, this is an area that will come back down to. But barring black swan events, I think that we go from 30 to 35, 40, 50,000. And I think that we slowly tick up to 50,000. And yeah, I think that's it, man.
Boris,
and then come to halving, boom, parabolic, 6 figures, baby. Let's go.
Boris, same question to you. Has the bull market started? Today. Is today the day the bull market started?
I kind of agree with Rob. Like in hindsight, like the bull market started from the bottom, right? Technically, but when you're at, when you've recovered from 15K to 20K, you can't really say the bull market's kicked off quite yet until you take out some big resistances. But what we have done, importantly today with Bitcoin, is we've moved back up above 31K. That 31K resistance was we've re-entered the range, like our previous bull market's range. Which is very bullish. Usually when you have that happen, you rotate up to the midpoint or the top of the range. That would be roughly 40K to somewhere around high 50s, right? So 40K would probably be your midpoint. We could chart it out in a little bit. So yeah, you have to ask yourself the question, all right, what could be the bearish catalyst that brings this down? And then you also have to kind of think about, timeline, like Rob was talking about the Bitcoin halving and the Bitcoin ETF. So my take on the timeline side of things is I think this bull market is going to have started sooner, and I think it'll end faster. What I mean by that is, like, everybody is predicting the halving. Everybody's looking at the halving. Last bull market, you had COVID right going into the halving, and that shocked crypto, pushed it down. And then everyone was like really kind of hesitant to get into the crypto trade post halving, right? Now everyone's super confident in the halving. We've seen this pattern more frequently. I think there's going to be more people jumping into crypto earlier, and we're going to see that parabolic run up, in my opinion, moving into the halving rather than after the halving like we've seen it before, and that could lead to a shorter bull market. The two things that can bring crypto down, you've got the U.S. government with 40,000 Bitcoin to rip into the market. In a bull market scenario, yeah, that's gonna cause a drawdown. That's gonna cause a pullback. But in a real bull market, that 40,000 Bitcoin is probably going to get absorbed. You do have the Mt. Gox distribution. I don't think that's nearly as bearish as what people think it is, because you've got a lot of people that are just going to hodl it or push it into altcoins. And then the last thing you have to worry about is legacy. You got real potential for a recession, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But as of right now, it's hard to be anything but bullish on crypto.
Bam.
All right. I want to take this quick intermission to talk to the chat here. Are you excited today? Are you happy?
Yes.
XRP's at 80 and our likes are at 60. We got over 200 viewers. We got about 20% like ratio. That means 80% of you do not like this show. So do us a favor. Hit the like button. Yeah, there you go. No, seriously, guys, it's a great show. Let's get this party started. We're over 200 viewers. I want to see if we can crack 300 today. If we crack 300, we will open up the club by the end of the day. And then also, if you are new here, say hello. I think we got a lot of new people. And then we'll drop an hola back at you. We got Original Bro, Aki Swap, Santiago M, McCrippy, Tor Shamish, Cryptolytics 101, Nick A, J-Fu, Raven, Toby Chapman, and B. Aru. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Gentlemen.
Also, let's get an hola. If you hit the like button, put an hola in the chat. I want to know who hit the like button. I'd like to get that hola train going anyways. Let's get over 100 holas in the chat, please. And Tickle Master us up in here, my dude.
We spoke about the ripple effects, pun intended, about what a potential victory for Ripple could do for the rest of the altcoin market. But I want you to take a look at this. These are the biggest gainers over the last 24 hours. I want to make a note. Of course, we have XRP. Polygon, Solana, and Cardano are in the top 5. And well, what do those three have in common? Well, they were recently delisted from places like Webull, like Robinhood. They were also named in lawsuits and Wells notices. And so that is why we were beating the drum on, even if you hate XRP, you don't like Ripple, and you're a Cardano fan, or you're a Solana fan, or you're any crypto fan, you want to root for them to come out with a favorable outcome because of Exhibit A, watching it live happen right now. Everything is pumping, but the largest gainers include in the top 5 the 3 that were listed as securities by the SEC. Damn. All right, so let's take a look at the crypto bubbles here. We have, of course, Stellar Lumens as well. That is up 55%. XRP up 73%. Solana 17.3%. Radix up 12%. Again, we do have Pierce joining us in about 10 minutes. And then ADA up 15%. So, guys, the overall market.
So in the next 24 hours, XRP crosses $1? Yes or no?
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Because Asia's still sleeping.
Forrest crosses
It might do
$1?
it in the next 15 minutes, man.
There we go.
What about you, Rob?
I say yes. Let me know what the chat thinks. See if everybody's lines up there as well. Put a 1 in the chat. Or if you remember, use your XRP emoji if you think that XRP will be over $1 by the end of the show. How about that? So next 45 minutes will we be over $1? Put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's a little too early, a little too premature, put a 2 in the chat.
Also, guys, and I was pulling this up live, Coinbase stock is absolutely ripping. That is up $14. This was down to under $50. People like Kathy Wood were scooping up a crap load of Coinbase.
She sold her Coinbase this
week.
What
a great trade that was. We're at $100.
She sold. Did you hear me?
Yeah, she sold. Yeah. But she made money though. She bought it under $50.
Yeah.
She sold around 60, 70.
Though.
Yeah. And so just overall, everything is bullish. Okay, let's take a look at the summary judgment. And I read this thing from top to bottom. Well, here are some things of note that we saw. So I just kind of highlighted some things. Therefore, having considered, so this is one of the negative parts. So it wasn't 100% in favor, right? It was institutional buyers. That was a security. But secondary sales and the common people who bought on exchanges, those were not securities. So this is the first part. Therefore, having considered the economic reality and totality of circumstances surrounding the institutional sales, the court concludes that Ripple's institutional sales constituted a sale of investment contracts. The court next addresses Ripple's programmatic sales, which occurred under different circumstances from the institutional sales. These are sales on exchanges, secondary sales. Having considered the economic reality of the programmatic sales, the court concludes that the undisputed record does not establish the third Howey prong, whereas the institutional buyers reasonably expected that Ripple would use the capital it received from its sales to improve the XRP ecosystem and thereby increase the price of XRP. Programmatic buyers could not reasonably expect the same.
Real quick, just a quick intermission here on this reading. It's at face value, it sounds kind of like a good idea, right?
What do you mean?
Well, hey, obviously if venture capital is buying giant allotments of crypto, now hear me out. I know
where you're going. You're right.
If they're buying giant chunks of crypto, they're not buying it for the utility, right? They're buying it as an investment contract. And
well, think about the core function.
If you can separate the two, and the judge clearly here does that, right? So if you can separate the two and say, look, if you want institutions to come and invest, perhaps you need to follow securities laws because they're not looking to use the token in a DeFi scenario. They're not looking to use the utility of the token. They're not looking to use NFTs, right? They're not looking to use smart contracts. They just threw $10 million at a company because, hey, we're about to, they're new. They're promising. They got a cool team.
Think about it. VC. Well, what's the point of a VC hedge fund to make money?
So I never really thought that you can have a scenario where you can have a token and it be sold as a security, also sold as a commodity. Is that a thing? I mean, here in this particular situation, it is. So just something to think about. I think very interesting. And it might not be a net negative. It might be a net positive if, we get more retail buying cryptos that are new, right?
Yeah. This is
a lot of the reasons those ICOs blew up was because venture capital got in and dumped, right? So 2017, a lot of that stain came from venture capital, and who profited the most was venture capital. They bought at pennies, and then they dumped on retail, and they're essentially the ones that caused the bear market, right?
Yeah, totally agree. I think this really cleans up the space. You've got, if you're a VC, this is like actually probably pretty bad news because you just can't do like OTC sales, you can't do VC sales, you can't do launchpad sales. So the key differentiator here, from what I've read so far, is you want to look for cryptocurrencies that are distributing their token natively. So like Ethereum distributing it to stakers, Bitcoin distributing it to miners, right? The participants in the network, rather than a VC behind closed doors or for a pre-sale. So that's actually really good news for retail, in my opinion. You're not going to have VCs dumping on you anymore.
I agree, but here's the flip side as well. Playing devil's advocate, does that mean that we're not going to get that inflow of money coming in from VC, the money that some projects were dependent on to grow, money that some projects raise during the height of the bear market to continue to operate? I guess that remains to be seen. There are a few other things I've highlighted on this summary judgment that I would like to go over. Indeed, Ripple's programmatic sales were blind bid-ask transactions, and programmatic buyers could not have known if their payments of money went to Ripple or any other seller of XRP. The economic reality is that a programmatic buyer stood in the same shoes as a secondary market purchaser who did not know to whom or what is paying its money. Further, it is not enough for the SEC to argue that Ripple explicitly targeted speculators or that Ripple understood that people were speculating on XRP as an investment. This is massive. So the SEC can't just come out and say, everyone who bought on Coinbase were speculating. And I'm telling you guys, this is going to serve as a landmark case. A landmark case. Why are we seeing a pump in everything? Because people are going to look at this and say a judge has ruled that even if it comes out as an investment contract, but it's listed on an exchange and people that are buying it on an exchange, even if you are buying it strictly to speculate on price, they cannot prove that you are doing so. So that is massive. Anyone who buys or sells, for example, a horse or an automobile, hopes to realize a profitable investment, but the expected return is not contingent upon the continuing efforts of another, which is one prong of the Howey test. It may certainly be the case that many programmatic buyers purchased XRP with an expectation of profit, but they did not derive that expectation from Ripple's efforts, particularly because none of the programmatic buyers were aware that they were buying XRP from Ripple.
What a good analogy. So the judge likened buying a crypto token to buying a horse or a car. Sure, you can breed it. Sure, you can buy it and it's going to accrue value if it's a particular brand of car, it's older or more collectible, or a certain breed of horse. But it doesn't mean that, hey, I bought it because I want to drive it, or I want to race it, or I want to, have it on my farm. Like, that makes so much sense. That's a great analogy. Can we bring the judge on the show?
Done.
That way we can link up our analogies, because I'm a master.
You're a good analogy. Also, guys, and here it is. Therefore, having considered the economic reality and totality of circumstances, the court concludes that Ripple's programmatic sales of XRP did not constitute the offer and sale of investment contract. Also, another part the SEC was fighting was these things called other distributions, paying their employees in XRP tokens. The judge ruled those were not investment contracts as well. And guys, I'm sorry. I mean, 88 cents. Forrest, real quick, can we look at an XRP chart here?
And then while he's pulling up the chart, where are we at on the market cap list? Did it flip anything yet?
XRP has flipped BNB. XRP has officially flipped BNB. It's at a 40.
Will BNB ever flip?
Here's the
XRP
thing:
again?
BNB is only up 5%, where everything else is up double digits, with the exception of Ethereum and Bitcoin, of course, because they have the highest market caps. Interesting. What do we? Oh, look at that again. Is that what we call a God candle?
Yeah. So yeah, funnily enough, if we take the beginning of the candle, where do we get our correction? 2x long of our margin pressure level, which also intersected with our red easy band. So that's where our resistance is coming in, and we're actually starting to really see a strong pullback now from 93 cents. It's already down 12%. So we've hit that initial set of resistance. Now, if I had to guess what happens next, and again, I'm speculating here because, guys, when we're repricing, because the fundamentals have changed, things can rip very, very, very hard. So we go back to actually, I want to go to XRP USD on Bitstamp because we have more history. We go back to 2017. I mean, this thing just completely ripped outside of the outside of the red easy bands, and it looks like a meme coin, looks like Dogecoin, right? But initially, we do have that resistance at 92 to 93 cents. I'm not one to sit and get in front of this thing and short it. If I was in a leveraged long position, if I had opened a leveraged long position on 3, 4, 5x leverage or higher, right? I probably would have taken some profits here, right? Gotten some off the table because this is where you could see a larger correction, maybe back down to 70 cents. If you're looking for an entry, that's actually where I would be, paying attention to. I'll throw our margin pressure levels off of the beginning of this move, right? If you're looking for an entry, and again, I'm not, to be quite blunt, I don't chase these things. Congrats to all the XRP holders. This is phenomenal. This is great news. I hope everyone makes a ton of money off of this. If I was looking for an entry, it'd be at around 70 cents. I'd be looking to rotate this back down and then probably, take another step up. Note that even when things just radically reprice to the upside, you still have to get consolidation. And then you take another step up, and then you get consolidation and you take another step up. There is a chance. In my opinion, I do think it's a small chance, but there is a chance that for the time being, the top is in on XRP. That's a full 100% move in one day. A full 100% move. I know some people that are like XRP bulls are going to be like, "You're talking crazy. That top's not in." For the time being, there's a chance that the next couple days we consolidate and 91 to 94 cents was our local top. And then you're going to be wanting to look for an entry lower down. There's also the chance, this thing's just, I mean, you're seeing from second to second, it's moving 4% with, a single person just selling. Right. So there's a chance that this thing, just loads back up, breaks through 94 cents, goes and tackles $1 and starts running up from there. But when you have 100% move and you don't have any support built, right, it's very hard for this thing to just continue to pushing. So to continue to push. So just note that, hey, this thing's probably going to consolidate at some point. Then you'll have some support to push off of. But as of right now, we've tagged the resistance levels that I would personally be looking at if I was in a trade to be closing and taking some profits in the short term. Long term, look, what's going to happen over the next month or two? It's hard to be bearish.
And I do want to note that we are seeing a pullback in pretty much everything. Bitcoin back down to 31.17, ETH under 2K, XRP drew back down to 83 cents. Just to kind of, of course, this is the biggest headline of the day. And so we do have some of the leading voices in our space speaking on this, and I want to share some of those. The first one is here. Charles Hoskinson, well done, XRP. One small step for XRP Nation. One giant leap for cryptocurrencies. I could not agree more. Also, Jeremy Hogan. Wow, congratulations to you, my friend. What I see from a first read through, Judge Torres ended up splitting the baby. She finds sales in which the buyers bought XRP directly from Ripple were sales of securities, and the others were not. And by others, I mean anything else that was bought on an exchange or on a DEX. Also, we have here Tom Emmer, the representative who is extremely pro-crypto, said the Ripple case is a monumental development in establishing that a token is separate and distinct from an investment contract it may or may not be a part of. Now let's make it law. We have Caitlin Long, the CEO of Custodia Bank, Prediction now that the Ripple summary judgment threw U.S. regulation into further disarray. Congress will finally act. Federal financial regulators usually don't open themselves to litigation that could massively cut back their jurisdiction grab. The SEC did. Next up.
Is this
Rob, what are your
something that Custodia Bank can use to... Is this something that Custodia Bank can use as leverage? Because I know they got their application denied, right? And well, real quick, I do want to give a little shout out to the chat. We are still under 50% like ratio. We're getting closer to the 300 live viewers. So let's support the channel. Do us a favor, take a second, hit the like button. And then also, if you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got a few new people. I got KB, Steven, M, Nando, Joanna, Orange Blood, Blake, Frank, Crypto Frankie Poo Poo, I guess is his name. So Adam Buzzard, the Zero Bird, Drew G, Ailes, Charles 360s, and Susie as well. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
All right, guys. We know a lot of you are here from the Radix community, and we've kept you waiting long enough. Well, we don't want to keep you waiting any longer. We have a very special guest joining us, none other than the leader of the leading Layer 1 DeFi in our cryptocurrency space, Mr. Pierce Ridyard. Rocco, let's bring him in. Pierce, how are you doing, my friend?
How's it going, guys? I'm good.
Excellent. I'm David. The other gentleman behind there with Sin City Crypto is Robin, and then we have our friend Forrest joining us as well. What a day to have you on. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. How are you feeling today? Are you as excited as I am? I could literally feel every ounce of blood running through my body right now.
I definitely think that the crypto space is definitely taking one of those breaths where they're going, oh, it's maybe there's a route through. Maybe America's not as bad as we thought it was. Maybe this is the start of the next bull run. So yeah, it's definitely feeling very positive.
Absolutely. And Pierce, I as one of the leaders in our space, I do want to ask your opinion on this big XRP settlement. Do you agree that it's good for our space as a whole, whether you're in DeFi or NFTs, just as digital asset, crypto in general? This ruling, I've said it's going to be a landmark case that judges look to moving forward. Do you what are your thoughts on this, and how do you think this affects the markets, maybe Radix, the entire market in general?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the entire world is not America. And so I think that there is an impact on this because of how big the American market is. But obviously, if America was cut out of the entire crypto world, I don't think that means the crypto world ends. I just think that this ruling. So just to be clear, right? The Howey test is this case law that people have been talking about in crypto since basically people started doing ICOs, and the reason that they were talking about it is because of how broadly something can be considered to be a security under the Howey test. Because obviously the Howey test, Howey itself was a case law set around selling of orange groves. Obviously an orange grove isn't a security. However, deep in the base of the Howey was always the concept of the investment contract versus the thing itself. And you could say the thing itself isn't a security, but if it's packaged as an investment contract, then it can be, then the investment contract itself can be a security. But it doesn't make the thing a security inherently. And this is kind of what the case law is saying. I don't think it's actually changed what the Howey test actually said in the first place. But what Gary Gensler and the SEC have been trying to do is massively expand the definition of what a security contract is to then make the underpinning thing inherently a security as well. And this separation and going, no, a token is a token. It's a token. It isn't necessarily a security, isn't necessarily not a security. It all depends on how the thing is sold. And then the substance in this of going, if it's sold to institutional investors in a particular way within the to Americans or within the American jurisdiction, then it's still considered that is an investment contract. But the token itself can be separated and thought of as a separate instrument. And if it's sold via exchanges, then it's not an investment contract. And so there's definitely some really interesting stuff that's coming out of this that I think is going to be really positive for differentiating in the industry when something is and when something isn't, and narrowing the scope under which something can be considered to be a security. And again, I want to emphasize this is in America. Every jurisdiction has its own rules and regulations around what is or is not a security. And actually, most jurisdictions are much less restrictive or much less expansive in how they define something to be a security in the first place. America is really the only place that has this concept of an investment contract, or one of the few jurisdictions that does. And so I think this ruling is going to make it a lot clearer on how you can do things in America. It doesn't actually make it that much easier for people who are thinking about launching, because it's very clear about the fact that if you're doing an ICO in America with Americans, then depending again on how that's structured, that could fall into being considered a security. At least with Ripple it is, but it's not saying that Ripple itself is a security, and I think that's really big.
What a great analogy.
Yeah, I'm just kind of floored here because I just now realize there's more than just America in this world. You know?
No way.
This whole time, no. A bit. So I want to say a big fan of Radix here. I did talk to some of your team members, and I know you. I was down at Consensus. Y'all had a big booth down there, and I talked to Hermes as well. I'm actually Portuguese, and their team's from Portugal, so we were chit chatting with them. But big fan of what you guys are doing. And I also when I was down there, I was talking about the Babylon upgrade a little bit, which I got a little insight into, but I figured it'd be a great time to perhaps let our viewers know, or let us know a little bit about what you guys got coming down the pipeline with Babylon. And for those of you that might not even have first time hearing about it, what should people expect with that?
Okay, so Radix, we built Radix because we believe that everything that is currently done in crypto for the everyday person is entirely unsuitable for the everyday person to actually use. Like, it's kind of laughably bad, the user experience of crypto, when it comes to, owning your own crypto, interacting with dApps, and there's these fraught with dangers. Like, even this week, people are talking about ERC20 hacks where they're using the approve function, and like people are constantly losing their private keys and all this kind of stuff. And we kind of looked at this and went, it's not actually the front end's fault. It's not MetaMask's fault per se. It's certainly not the user's fault, and it's probably not the developer's fault. Actually, what's at fault here is how the entire stack was built. And because Ethereum, when they created Ethereum, they didn't know what the main use cases for public ledgers were. They didn't know that DeFi was going to be such a big use case. DeFi is like 80% of the total usage of the Ethereum ledger, right? 80 to 90% of the usage of the Ethereum ledger. They didn't know that's what the main use case was going to be. So with Radix, we were like, okay, for this technology to go mainstream, it has to work for everyday people. And I always say there's three cardinal sins that crypto's made. The first cardinal sin is you have to know what a private key is to be able to use crypto. The second cardinal sin is the assets aren't native features of ledgers. And the third cardinal sin is that you can't review a transaction before you make it. Right. And those three cardinal sins mean that people are constantly losing their private keys. People constantly don't know whether or not they've received assets. I can send you a token and you can be like, where's my token? And it's like, oh, you have to go and add a custom contract because the wallet has no idea that token exists until you tell it the token exists, because the ledger doesn't actually know that the token exists and the wallet doesn't. Like, there's just this random stuff that doesn't make sense. And then from a review point of view, most DeFi interactions are, oh, I'd like to do this thing with Uniswap. Okay, I pick which things I want to swap. I click swap, and then it says sign this hash, and you have no idea whether or not those are the things that are going to work for you. Mm-hmm. So these all sound small for everyday people who use crypto all of the time, but for the mainstream, they're massive barriers. And that's why there's like a 10-to-1, 20-to-1 ratio between exchanges and as the user base of exchanges and the user base of crypto. People want to use crypto, but they're stuck on exchanges. And it's kind of like AOL. Is the exchanges are the AOL of the modern era. Like AOL wasn't the internet. It was just like some services of the internet. And exchanges aren't really crypto, but they are the safe, fuzzy way in which everyday people can use it because everything else is so terrifying. And Radix, we were like, we don't want that. We want everyone to be able to sovereignly interact with DeFi applications. We want everyone to be able to sovereignly own their own crypto without it being terrifying. And we want the Web3 world to actually be something in which we as individuals can go and explore it without worrying about getting hacked or scammed or, you know, things going wrong.
Or the having downloading a manual, right?
Right.
Downloading a 10-page manual.
Exactly. Right. So that's what Radix is. Radix is an entirely new stack from the ground up. It's our own consensus, our own execution, our own programming language, our own user experience designed around the fact that we need to make this human.
And, of course, there's so many, new layer ones that come in, whether that's Avalanche or I'm not going to throw any more names out there, but, they all hang the head on the same thing. We're fast to finality. We can have a lot of transactions.
They solved the blockchain trilemma.
We've solved the trilemma.
Every single one.
And so what it sounds like, what makes Radix stand out is the fact that you guys are trying to break down those barriers to entry. You are trying to make it more practical for users. And I guess is that kind of the reason why I know you explained building it from the ground up, but you guys are one of the only, for me, recognizable DeFi projects that decided not to be an L2 on something already established like Ethereum or like Solana or any other layer one out there and do it from the ground up. Looking back at it now, of course, it is more difficult, does take more time, does take more resources. Is there anything you would change, or are you still completely happy with the route you guys decided to take in building everything from the ground up?
Okay, so when I went through Y Combinator's got this saying, which is build something that people want. That's the entire saying of Y Combinator, and it's the main advice that they give, which is hilarious because it's literally their tagline. Before we built the tech stack we went and did a lot of work by going and interviewing people. We went and we'll talk to like 1,000 DeFi developers and DeFi projects and Web3 developers and Solidity developers. We went and did user interviews where we actually sat down and went through user flows with people for crypto and for crypto onboarding for interacting with these dApps. And it wasn't that we went out and we were like, cool, we just want to do something different. We think we're smarter. We just went out and we actually talked to the people who are trying to build stuff, and we talked to the people who are trying to use stuff. And without fail, everyone came back and went, this is awful. This is terrible. Solidity is awful. Like the amount of time that I spend trying to secure things versus actually writing functional code is awful. And still I wake up in cold sweats every night because I'm worried that I'm just like what I've put out there is going to get hacked. Right. And then from a user experience point of view, every single person that we brought in cold off the streets to try and use like MetaMask or whatever for the first time, like hilariously bad user experiences. And so we're like, that's the problem to solve. We have to build something that people want. People want the idea of crypto, but they don't want the reality of it because it's so bad. So we didn't set out and go, we're smarter than everyone else, so we'll just start again from scratch. We started with, what do people actually need to be able to succeed? Because clearly DeFi is going to be massive. Clearly Web3 is going to be massive. But the biggest barrier to entry for people isn't speed. It isn't congestion. The very biggest barrier to entry, like every single project we spoke to, who was a big project, and we said, what's your number one problem, right? They've got like, this is height of DeFi summer. And, transaction costs were like $200. And, these companies have raised more money than they know what to do with. And you ask them what their number one problem is. They're not saying congestion. They're not saying speed. They're not like, the trilemma. They're going, I can't hire enough developers. They're going, my bounce rate is 95%. Only 5% of the people who come to my website interested actually end up converting, right? Wow. Those are my problems. It's not freaking scalability.
Right.
And so that's why we chose to build a different stack, because when we actually analyzed how do you build a programming language that actually makes sense for Web3 and DeFi? How do you create an asset-oriented programming language? How do you make a programming language that is easy to get started with, but is really hard to make mistakes, is really hard to do security errors, is really hard to end up shooting yourself in the foot and making some error in logic that means that millions of dollars goes missing? How do you do that? That was actually, we've got to start again from scratch. We actually have to build a different programming language. Right. And every single VC that we spoke to, and we spoke to all of the big ones, right? Every single VC, they were telling us, you're crazy. Yep. You should be copying the EVM. Yep. You should be copying Solidity. It's already won. Yep. And we're looking at it and we're going, there are 25,000 full-time Solidity developers after 7 years and billions of dollars of funding. And you're telling me Solidity has won? Like, what are you talking about? There's 25 million developers, and crypto was a tech first innovation. So you think the developers don't know about it? You think they're just sitting on the sidelines and going, oh, that looks interesting, but I'm not going to get involved? Of course they're not. They've tried it and they've gone, no way, I'm not going to build here. So that's why we did what we did. That's why we took this different approach, because we realized that nothing that's out there would actually address these problems because they started from the wrong starting point.
I love it. I want to give our friend Forrest a chance to ask a question to you, Pierce.
Sure.
Yeah. So from the product side, you building a better, more secure programming framework and better user experience, right? But there's so much competition in the space that you've got so many L1s targeting 45 billion in TVL, right? Trying to get their share of 45 billion in TVL. So beyond just the product, because I don't necessarily believe that in this space right now you can just build it and they will come, because essentially there's just so much competition.
Sure.
What is the differentiating factor? What's the strategy for attracting users, TVL, attracting, essentially getting Radix's share of the DeFi pie, or taking over the space entirely?
Yeah, it's a really boring answer, which is build a community of builders who are serious and support that community, as the number one thing you do. So, we launched the crypto programming language 1.5 years ago. And the number of people who have tried Scripto has gone from 0 to over 15,000 in 1.5 years. And the reason for that is because we spend all of our time working on our developer community, our developer ecosystem. We don't pay people to come and build stuff on our platform. We don't have a huge, sort of foundation fund where we go, we're giving $100 million away, like Algorand did, $100 million. What they got to show for it? Like, it's the hard work of finding that small group of people who get it. They go, what you're doing is the right way of doing this, and then building on that kernel, and then making sure that you're helping them understand how to be successful building on your platform. But I don't mean by like how to build an incredible marketing campaign or how to shill your token, but actually how to build products that have real value, and do that by helping them every day, by being there every day. And we've built an incredible community. Like, again, like the people who have spent time in it, again, big VCs in the space who have spent time in our community say that it's pound for pound the best developer community in crypto, and we focus on that. And because you're asking, where do users come from? Users come from the fact that what is on your protocol is useful, is interesting, right? The majority of users come to Ethereum not because it's Ethereum. They come to Ethereum because Uniswap's there, because Aave's there, because Compound's there, right? So you focus on the builders who are going to build that innovation. And for us, Scripto, the thing that we wanted to achieve with Scripto was that Radix was your unfair advantage. If you're an entrepreneur and you choose to build on Radix, Radix is your unfair advantage. You get to get to market quicker. You have to worry less about security. You can hire cheaper developers, and you can build innovation faster than anyone else in the space. And so that's what we focused on. And, still to play out whether or not that works, whether or not that's the thing. And on the 27th of September, that's when Babylon goes live.
Yep.
But 15,000 developers have given it a go. There's 50 projects that are going to go live. You guys met some of them out in consensus, and they're not like just random people that we've paid to be there. They're people that have been in the Radix community for a long time and have been building here and are really understand what the advantage Radix represents to them for building interesting products in the space. And it's not an interesting answer. I get that. It's not like we're going to go sponsor the Miami Dolphins, or we're going to go sponsor we're going to sponsor the Formula One or whatever. But I think it's the only way that actual real shit gets built.
I want to end it on a more of a general question on where you think this space is going to go. You talk to some of the other founders of projects, some of the outspoken ones. They talk about how DeFi is going to change the world, banking the unbanked, a lot of the use case, the efficiencies of crypto and DeFi, and compared to the legacy systems that we have now. What do you hope to change in technology and fintech and finance and people that don't have banking services? What do you think is going to be the favorable outcome if you achieve your ultimate goal, adoption?
Yeah, I mean, the global financial system, the assets in the global financial system is about $400 trillion, right? And then every single interaction that we have that is based on who we are, our identity, is currently, again, another probably $50 trillion worth of value in that, if you count all of the different ways in which we interact with services, from governments to Twitter to Facebook to all of this kind of stuff. And all of it is basically crap. Right, that infrastructure in that the reputation I build on Facebook, I can't move across to Twitter, and the reputation I build on Twitter, I can't move across to Reddit. The money that I have in my pension, I can't see that in the same place that I can see where my credit cards are, or that I can see where my investments are. My mortgage rate is 2%, but my credit card bill is 20%. My credit card is 20%. But even if I defaulted on my credit card, they come after my house. Like, all of these things that I represent my assets, what I own, who I am, and how I represent myself to the world is currently disjointed, dysfunctional, and we kind of accept it in the way that passwords suck, in the way that logins suck, in the way that finance sucks for everyday people, for the way that finance is completely disjointed, where there's no, like, everyone sort of sits there going, I think I'm paying too much for everything, but I can't really work out how I would pay less, right? Or I feel like I should be able to have more opportunities for my capital, but I really don't know where I get started, because it's so difficult to get through all of these different like hoops and understand what's out there in the first place. Like, the world of information has gone digital, fully digital, but the world of finance and the world of identity and the world of governance, when it comes to things like voting and your ability to have a say in a company, or your ability to have a say in a nation, isn't. So like, what these platforms mean in the long run is all of that becomes as easy as booking a taxi through Uber, or sending a picture on Instagram. And like your financial universe is fully within your control and fully composable between all of the different products you have. Your identity is fully portable between every single portal that you interact with. There's no such thing as passwords. There's no such thing as logins. Everything is based on cryptography, but in a way that's completely convenient for you. And so you're able to increase security, increase convenience, and increase your ability to access the financial tools and services that you want in a way that feels right when we compare it to what we get in Web 2 for everything else.
Awesome, man. Wow, Pierce, what an amazing, I don't want to call it an interview. I want to call it a conversation, because I felt like it was more of a conversation. It was an absolute pleasure having you on here. Your community is strong. I see tons of people here that I've never seen that are from the Radix community. And so we first and foremost, Yeah, we first and foremost want to thank you so much for your time. Again, it was truly a pleasure. Any parting thoughts you want to leave us with before we let you go?
Parting thoughts, well, just in general. So, I don't know, caviar's overrated. what do you want as a parting thought?
I agree.
Isn't there a Dex named Caviar on?
There is.
No, there is a project. So Caviar 9 is definitely not overrated. Parting thoughts. I think that the Ripple case is really interesting. It's going to mark a watershed, but it's not the end of the fight. So I think that we still have to see what's coming out of Coinbase, the Coinbase case, and the other sort of things that are going on in America in the courts right now. But I think that this is a really good point to start to feel more confident about crypto. And my parting thought is, if you were thinking about getting into crypto and you weren't sure, now's the sign that you need to go and learn how to program crypto so you can come build in the Radix ecosystem.
Boom! Mic drop. Pierce, again, thank you so much. We look forward to having you on again in the future, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Someone in the chat said, watching him is like, who said, it's like watching a movie. And I agree, man. When you have someone who is so passionate and well-spoken and understands what they're talking about, it's truly a pleasure.
Yeah, when you get people that are, that have spent their life really just building, and with that said, so once you get people that have, spent their life building something and perfecting their craft, and I can just speak on it for hours. When I was a chef, I could speak on just plating food, ingredients, cooking. I could just talk about it for hours, man. It just came natural to me.
Or your bird.
Yeah, or my bird now, my boy Larry. I got it was Black Friday, or not Black Friday, it was Amazon Prime Day. So, I got enough crap in my house. So I was going through there, and I got Larry something. That's the only thing I got on Black Friday. Yeah. Little play areas.
What, you didn't get me anything?
No, negative.
Guys, we're gonna kick Robin out. His kids are here.
Yeah, I gotta go actually, guys. So
thanks for joining us.
I'll just stop by for 15 minutes, and I've been here for the whole hour. So.
If you ever questioned Rob's admirer of the XRP community, well, here is your answer. Just
also on the way out, do me a favor, hit the like button. Show some support for the channel. Show some support for XRP.
Can I ask you one favor?
A couple new people. We got Toombe. I bought Charlie Lee's bags. I wrote that down and I didn't even realize what it was. Okay. Maria, Stony23, Swashbuckling, and DeFi Degen Coffee. To all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Kirk.
You know what's funny, Rob? Someone in chat corrected you, said, this is not how you pronounce my name, this is how you pronounce my name. And someone was like, that's just Robin. That's who he is. And I couldn't agree more. That is Robin.
All right, guys.
Rob, it was a pleasure having you on, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your day, brother. All right, guys. We talked about XRP. Again, let's just check in on the markets real quick, see what they're doing. So I got CoinMarketCap pulled up here. Bitcoin down to $31,290. XRP creeping back up to that 80-cent level. Again, Cardano, Solana, Doge, and Polygon Matic. I do want to share some other piece of news that we have today. So, well, first let's share this meme. Shared by our friend Magic Internet Money. In the case of XRP, Gary Gensler, you are not the father. This is great. Magic this over. No, keep Rob. Let Dave leave. Damn, that's messed up, Rico. Kind of hurt. Not really. I really don't care. All right. Also, guys, normally this would be like thumbnail style headlines. Europe to launch a first Bitcoin ETF this month. Forrest, how bullish are you on this? Do you think this will put any weight on what the U.S. decides to do and what Gary Gensler decides to do?
I mean, as our guest just mentioned, the United States is not the end all be all. Europe is still a very large market for crypto. So this is bullish. It's just a trend. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone. I feel like so many people just have bear market PTSD, and they're just so scared because it's been nothing but bad news for so long. And now it's just become the exact opposite. There's just a very clear trend. Now the only bad news is really even the news today about like Celsius, right? They arrested Alex Mashinsky. Like that's actually good news. Like, yeah, there it is right there. So is this Europe Bitcoin ETF? Is this like absolutely beyond massive? Not necessarily in and of itself, but it's also a positive signal for, pressuring the United States, right? Because if Europe adopts Bitcoin and Europe has a Bitcoin ETF, and then some Asian markets adopt Bitcoin ETFs, and everybody has Bitcoin except for the United States, and you don't have some of the largest asset managers in the United States pushing Bitcoin. They're not making money off of a product or a service that everybody else in the world is. So yeah, I think this is good in terms of it's going to pressure the United States. But I think the more important thing here, and what I'm ultimately trying to get at, is people have bear market PTSD, but the pattern is changing. We're getting win after win after win after win. Right. The only bad stuff going on is Gary Gensler. It's one guy. It's one entity. And he just got his butt handed to him today with XRP court case. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, there's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some corrections along the way. The government's going to sell, 40,000 Bitcoin. It's going to suck for the markets. There's going to be some red days. There's going to be some blood. But overall, what we're seeing in a longer term time frame, 12 to 24 month time frame, we're just seeing the wins start to stack up for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. So that's my take. I think this is just another win in the W, or another W in the wins column.
All right, guys. So we got a tweet. I agree. We got a tweet here. Oh my God. Okay. So the SEC has responded.
That's juicy. I want to hear it.
Of course, we are pleased that the court found that XRP tokens were offered and sold by Ripple as investment contracts in violation of the securities laws in certain circumstances. The court agreed with the SEC that the Howey test governs the securities analysis of crypto transactions and rejected Ripple's made-up test as to what constitutes an investment contract, instead emphasizing that Howey and subsequent cases have held that a variety of tangible and intangible assets can serve as a subject of an investment contract. Further, the court rejected Ripple's fair notice argument, noting that the Howey test is clear and that claiming ignorance is not a defense to violating securities laws. Will continue to review the decision. Bruh, what are they drinking over there?
They're in denial.
What are they smoking over there? It is like the denial of, this is just extremely comical to me. Breathe through what the actual summary was, the judgment was, and say, yeah, well,
we won.
Ripple sold. The ones Ripple sold. But man, shut your ass up, SEC. Forrest, what's your, and I don't know if you saw this before I showed it. What's your knee-jerk reaction to this?
They're just out of pocket. At the end of the day, they're going. This show in general has been beating the drum on this, but as far as everybody's, all of our thoughts on Gary Gensler, at least my opinion's been, this guy is so far out of pocket and out of left field that eventually he's going to get brought back to reality. He's going to get reined in. There's a campaign in, I believe, the Senate to end the SEC
House.
Or to restructure the SEC
Forrest,
and kick Gary Gensler out. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So yeah, he's posturing very heavily against crypto, but he's so far out. Like, it would be one thing, like, if he was just, strict on crypto and genuinely wanted to protect people against all these ICOs and all the VCs in the space, and he was coming in with a heavy fist and trying to pass through regulation that was that could work with crypto. But that's not what he's doing. He's just like so full on anti-crypto that it's a joke, and it's only going to go on for so long. Essentially, I mean, to put it into shorter terms, or we've just been calling his bluff over and over and over again, and it's only a matter of time before he ends up powerless. I mean, that's what I ultimately believe.
We also have breaking news here, guys, and man, this is what an exciting day. Gemini Crypto Exchange considers relisting XRP, so the talks are starting. The conversations are starting, okay? And guys, just buckle in. Buckle in. You've been waiting so long. Your portfolios have been depressed for so long. It feels like ages. It's been a year and a half. Guys, the tides are finally starting to turn. Those of you that remain patient, those of you that doubled down when everyone else was talking bad about our space, where everyone else was shitting on us, calling us idiots, saying you're investing in fake internet money. Guys, the tides are turning. Those same people are going to be running back to you and asking you, what exchange should I use to buy Bitcoin? How can I self-custody my crypto? So be prepared. And hey, but I want to challenge you guys. Those people that laughed at you, they came at you and called you stupid. When they come back, let's accept them with open arms. Let's say, I understand why you felt the way you felt. And if you're ready to embrace crypto, I am here to help you in your journey. Let's do that, guys. Let's bring in the masses. We know we love crypto. We're here for a reason. Yes, we're here to make money, but we also understand the potential that crypto has. And so if you believe in it like I believe in it, which if you've been watching our show and you're watching, any other crypto channel and you're following crypto on Twitter, guys, this is the time. Let's show them that our space is unlike any other space. And let's welcome these people who laughed at us with open arms. Let's give them a hug. Maybe even give them a kiss on the cheek. Who knows? And so I'm just kind of like live right now, scrolling through Twitter, seeing if there's any other breaking news on here that we can show. Of course, everyone is talking about XRP. If you go to trending on anything on Google, Ripple is right up there. And so, not really seeing anything else here now. Forrest, can we just real quick take a look at the XRP chart? We do know XRP retraced. Are we at any levels in the immediate future that you're seeing that might be good spot trading opportunities or swing trading opportunities? And of course, none of this is financial advice.
Yeah. So essentially, not a whole lot has changed. It's just kind of like what we talked about earlier. We're starting to consolidate here. Again, 2x long margin pressure level with our red easy band coming through here was kind of the perfect local top. Otherwise, for me personally, I'm not super interested in getting in here until the longs can come back in at 71 cents. We can take a look at the short levels really quick because that will be interesting. But let me just zoom out here and actually grab the short MPL tool and drag it over, and we'll also take a look at our risk reward levels. We'll clean up this chart. So off of our local high, let's go down to, we got to go down to the 15-minute, see if we get anything. Actually, because they're a perfect lineup, I mean, essentially, we're going to have really, really strong confluence here. That's going to make 71 cents even stronger. So 71 cents is where these shorts are going to have to start covering or leaving the market, which is good, right? This is a really strong level to actually bid if you're looking for an entry. We're not there yet. We're just kind of getting caught up in these 4x and 5x short levels. So you're seeing some shorts already starting to leave the market. You don't really want to short, right? You don't really want to short XRP here because you just, on 4 or 5x leverage, you can't keep your liquidation point above this local high. So it's not really attractive. So we're starting to see this bleed off or this correction start to slow down a little bit. But I do believe what gives us better risk reward on a long is 71 cents. So maybe we go and we take another push up here in a moment. But ultimately, I'd be very cautious here. The last thing I'll take a peek at, and it's probably better if I just throw a fresh set on of our indicators. Let's go to our risk reward levels, high and low. And let's see here. Yeah, that's going to give us triple confluence. That's going to give us triple confluence at 71 cents exactly. So you also have your 1-to-1 risk reward level. So that's essentially your midpoint on this entire move. Another way to find that would be with our adjusted fib tool, which I'm actually not going to use because it's still in dark mode. 71 cents. That's where I personally look to bid, and not a moment before then. To me, it's just a little too risky. If you FOMO'd in here above 80 cents, you're already eating this correction. So, maybe we don't make it back down to 71 cents, but if we do, I would expect a pretty decently strong bounce there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Forrest. I do want to show pretty cool video. Just a little hype video for you guys. Rocco, cue up my laptop.
And regularly interacts with industry for future regulation. That conversation is helping the UK be a leader in the market. We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
I wonder where he's going. Oh my God, is he going to the? He's going to the moon. He is going to the moon. Man, you know what? The XRP army, you guys stood by your project through hell and high water through the last 2 years, 2.5 years.
What is that? Dodge?
Price suppression. Yes,
Dogecoin. Dodge in the back.
Price suppression. People talking bad about your project. People throwing shade. And you guys are stupid. Why would you invest in a token? Why would you hold a token that the U.S. government is after? Today is your day, my friends. And speaking of an important day, July 29th is a very important day. We are co-hosting a meetup down here in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Foundation Room, a $60,000 a night venue here in Las Vegas with George from Cryptos R Us. There's only a couple ways to get in. The first way to get in is if you're a holder of a We Are All George NFT. But if you don't hold one of those and you're part of our community, there is another way for you to come and hang out with us, enjoy some free food and drinks. And that is a giveaway we're doing. So 10 people are going to be drawn. 10 winners will be drawn on Monday on this show. If you win, you get you and plus one. You get free entry to the event. Come hang out with us. Some of the biggest names in crypto will be there. We will be there. Rob will be there. Rocco, George will be there. So many people will be there. We're going to have a great time. So the link to the contest is pinned to the top of this chat. I do want to mention one thing though. If you don't think you're going to be able to make it to Vegas, regardless if you win or not, save the entries for the people that can make it to Vegas. And so definitely recommend that. Also, want to make another recommendation, and that is our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you own a business and you want to make sure you maximize your IT and your networking, visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. Also, want to give a big thank you to our man Forrest for joining us. He'll be joining us again tomorrow. Go follow him on Twitter at 00Forrest with 2 R's. Also, if you want access to his research hub or his indicators that he showed on this channel, there is an affiliate link in the description of this video. Forrest, any parting thoughts? Anything you want to leave our viewers with before we sign off?
Yeah, guys. I mean, ultimately, you're going to start to be put to a test. Like sometimes upside, when the markets start moving to the upside, you have to make difficult decisions. So obviously, you make difficult decisions when the market's crashing and things are down. But a lot of people probably today are like, probably feeling FOMO, probably wanting to chase. And while I do think the outlook over the next 12 to 24 months is bullish, you really need to approach this from a point of discipline. Look, do you go and put a significant chunk of your net worth into XRP at 81 cents? Maybe that's a really good decision, but what I will tell you is it's a high risk decision, right? You're talking about a very volatile crypto asset. So please use good judgment and discipline practices, good risk management, use stop losses. And I'm as bullish on crypto as anybody, but I've seen so many people get wrecked in this space, both in bear markets and bull markets, that I just want to, give a reminder to people. So that's really what I wanted to say to wrap it up.
That's amazing, Forrest. And I know all of our emotions are high. My emotions are high as well. But, to be a good investor and especially a good trader, you have to be able to maneuver around your emotions. I know everyone wants to go 100x long on XRP right now, but is that the smartest move? Keep that in mind. But again, guys, this is the moment we've been waiting for. So if you're here and you've made it, congratulations to you. You will be rewarded. Continue to stick around. Also, if you're not subbed to our channel, make sure to subscribe, pin the notification bell, follow us on Twitter, buy some merch, visit inandouttcrypto.com. If you're a whale member, you get 10% off. And with that being said, Rocco, you know what time it is.
It's time to buy some XRP merch. Yes. No, that's
That too. Yes. It is also time for me to tornado us out of here. Rocco! Guys, what an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining us. Come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. I love you all. Thank you so much. On behalf of all of us here at Sin City Crypto, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Sin City Crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado